Newark very, very stingy against the run. Maddox Moeller in the shotgun formation, takes the snap. He'll hand it off, some running room for number 10, Carson Hostetler.
So they proved me wrong, opened the hole up there. He got moving the chains.
Yeah, Hostetler seems to be their favorite back right now. 6 foot, 175-pound sophomore. A lot of sophomores and juniors on this team, Greg.
Very young team. But they're playing seasoned. They're definitely not acting like they're a very young team.
Maddox Moeller in shotgun. He'll take the snap. He'll hand it to Pouncey. Pouncey fighting for yardage.
Taken down by 3 Newark Wildcats right there.
Yeah, but nice modest gain for Pouncey. Give him about 4. That'll set Zanesville up. 2nd down and 6. That's a good first down play if you're Zanesville. Just you can't get behind the chain. Just
keep moving it downfield.
Stay on schedule if you're the Blue Devils. 2nd and 6 is manageable down and distance for this young team. Moeller again in shotgun formation. He takes the snap. He gives it to Pouncey. Pouncey found a little crease in there for a couple yards. Still going to leave a 3rd and a long 3.
Yeah, he looked up. He looked a little disappointed in that one when he kind of looked up for being tackled there. Definitely not what they were hoping on that one.
Looks like a personal foul on the Wildcats, and it is. Initial indication. So the 2nd personal foul against Newark in this first quarter here, Greg. Costly penalties. That's 30 yards in penalty yardage for Newark already in this first quarter, and Zanesville will gladly take it.
Oh, for sure.
That's going to move the football all the way up into plus territory.
That's right.
Line of scrimmage is officially the 48-yard line of Newark.
First down, Blue Devils.
Maddox Moeller in the shotgun formation. 2 running backs in the backfield with him, Pouncey and Hostetler. He gives to Pouncey. No room, and he's fighting for yardage. He may have found 2 yards. I'll tell you, Pouncey gets a few extra yards after contact almost every time. Very strong runner.
He was caught up at the line of scrimmage right there. They didn't wrap him up, and he was able to break free and get those couple plus yards.
He sure was. He was definitely contacted at the line of scrimmage and was able to muster up a couple of yards out of that, as Greg mentioned. And Pouncey again in the backfield with Maddox Moeller. 3 wide for the Blue Devils. Moeller takes the snap. He's looking left. He throws left. And that is Antonio Whiteside, his teammate he connected with in the first drive for the touchdown, and seems to be his favorite target.
Brought down by Adrian Taylor as we go to our Ohio Educational Credit Union replay.
Whiteside, a rare senior for the Blue Devils. 6 foot 1, 175 pounds. Outstanding size for a receiver.
Good play.
Moeller looked his way the entire way and never looked away from him. Shotgun formation again. Vaughn Pouncey in the backfield with Moeller. Moeller takes the snap, hands to Pouncey. He's patient run. Penalty flag comes out.
Oh, Pouncey about lost the ball there, but he threw it up and caught it himself.
Curious to see what this flag is here. Could be a chop block or a hold on the Blue Devils. A lot of blockers were engaged high with their man. Sometimes a chop block can factor in when that's the case. They're really discussing this one. Looks like Newark's going to decline it, whatever it is. Newark's coached by Bill Franks, and they are going to decline that hold against the Blue Devils. So instead of 2nd and 15, they declined the penalty and still assessed the penalty yardage, which is odd. They assessed the 5-yard penalty. Newark clearly declined the penalty.
So here we're at 2nd and 14 with 3:25 left.
It should be 1st and 15 or 2nd and 10, one of the two.
Just meet in the middle.
They're saying 2nd and 14. Moeller, a little bit of trouble. He's looking downfield. He's looking for Whiteside. He overthrows his man.
Flag on the play.
This could be a third personal foul against the Wildcats if they hit Maddox Moore late out of bounds, and it is roughing the passer against Newark. So that's the third personal foul in the first 8 minutes of this game.
Creeping
Greg.
up on the probably 60 yards at this point, and penalties and
that's 45
unnecessary
yards.
ones.
That's 45 yards just in personal foul penalties alone. And that's not only going to give Zanesville their 5 yards back, that's going to give them an extra 10 and a free first down. So the ball's going to be spotted right at the 25-yard line of Newark. Zanesville once again in business here, Greg, knocking on the door of the red zone.
They are. And that pass game is actually looking pretty good against their defense. But those penalties, that's costing Newark for sure.
Maddox Moeller in shotgun formation. 2 Blue Devils across the formation, right to left. We could have a
false start.
Yes, that's a pre-snap penalty we just spoke of. A lot of motion and false start penalties to start this season, and there's another one. So
literally
sloppy,
10 steps forward, 5 steps back at this point.
Sloppy play both ways. I can tell you this, if you're head coach Bill Franks and your team's got 3 personal fouls in the first quarter, you cannot be happy with that.
Yeah.
And Zanesville, 1st and 15 from the Newark Wildcat 30-yard line. Maddox Moeller, shotgun formation. Carson Hostetler to his right. Moeller takes the snap, hands to Hostetler, looking for blockers. He's finding a little bit of room around the left edge. He's going to pick up 5 yards on that one, Greg. Give him
the original line of scrimmage.
So that's going to bring up a 2nd and 10 again, just 4 or 5 yards at a time. Zanesville will take that all day long. Not only is it keeping them on schedule as far as the chains are concerned, it's keeping that Newark offense on the sideline.
That's true.
The longer they take on these drives, the better.
And from their last 2 weeks, this is definitely positive yardage in what they have performed the last 2.
Hostetler in the backfield once again with Moeller. Moeller takes the snap. He's looking downfield, but no time given by the offensive line as penetration got there, and it got there in a hurry. We're going to take another look at this one on your Ohio Educational Credit Union replay as Maddox Moeller had no time to even get that ball off. Sacked in the backfield for a large loss. It's going to be a loss of 8 on that one. Setting up 3rd and 18. Very uncomfortable down and distance for Zanesville. However, if you can pick up 6, 7, 8 yards here on 3rd down, it could make a 4th down more manageable. So I'm going to gamble that that's probably a play call. He's going to probably look at a slant, maybe a little screen play.
The crowd's
try
getting
to pick
into
up 5 to 7 yards here on this 3rd down. Moeller takes the snap. He gives the Pouncey. He's got some running room. Taken down inside the 30. It's going to be a gain of 5. Still going to be 4th and call it 12 for Zanesville. They're kind of in no man's land here, though. You can't punt the ball from the 28-yard line. Probably a little too long for your field goal kicker as well. But they are going to set up here, Greg.
They are. 4th and 13.
45-yard field goal attempt, and this would be a long one. And the kicker is Cam Van Kirk. That kick never had a chance as it was blocked by the Newark front 5.
And not just tipped, it was aggressively blocked. They were back there in a hurry. Here's our Ohio Educational Credit Union replay. Nobody else back there. He just not touched.
So the Blue Devils will turn it over on downs back to the Wildcats. We'll get our first look at the Wildcat offense here, Greg, as they scored their touchdown on special teams.
They did.
We've yet to see the Newark offense out on the field. We have just a minute to play here in this first quarter. We mentioned earlier, Bodie Smith, the junior quarterback, he'll be in shotgun formation. And he passes to a slot receiver.
Very close to a first down.
And that was Preston Lunsford on the catch.
It is a first down. They are moving the chains.
And
55 seconds left as the clock runs.
That will move the chains as this first quarter is winding down. Fast-moving first quarter. The Wildcats will come out in a little bit of a pistol formation. The running back set behind Bodie Smith. Looks like some pre-snap movement. Oh, they're going to say offside on Zanesville. Must have been lined up in the neutral zone. That flag came out immediately upon the snap. They're going to walk off that penalty yardage. 5 yards in favor of the Wildcats, so 1st and 5 now for Newark. And we mentioned the Peterson brothers. Colton Peterson will be the primary running back out of the backfield. He's a 5'11", 174-pound sophomore. His brother Drayson is the one who ran the kickoff return back for the Wildcats touchdown. Bodie Smith, 2 runners in the backfield. He'll hand it off to number 17, Alexander Irvin Royster. And Irvin Royster finds some room. 12-yard run for Royster out around the right edge. Move the chains yet again for the Wildcats. Make that 7-yard rush for Royster as they're approaching midfield. As their offense looks to be a little more confident and fluid than the Blue Devils offense.
Yeah, for sure. It seemed a lot faster as we end the first quarter at 7-7.
Okay, and that is the end of our first quarter. We will step aside momentarily and be back with the second quarter action just in a minute. And we're back at White's Field starting the second quarter. It's Zanesville 7, it's Newark 7 as we begin second quarter action. Newark with the football near midfield. Bodie Smith takes the shotgun snap and hands off to Irvin Royster, and the Zanesville Blue Devil front 5 was in the backfield there.
Replay here.
That's going to put Newark behind the chains here. Second and call it 12 for the Wildcats. Let's see if Zanesville can dial up some pressure on junior quarterback Bodie Smith.
I mean, when the Newark offense pretty much had the first quarter off the field, they're definitely coming in prepped and ready to roll.
Whoa, bad snap over the head of Smith.
I should stop talking.
He's going to have to just get on this one, and that's going to be a huge loss.
Completely jinxed that one with a high snap. Maybe a little bit overzealous as the Ohio Educational Credit Union replay. Very high snap over his head.
Yeah, that ball is going to all the way back to around the 22-yard line, so that's going to be a loss of about 22 yards for Newark, and that puts them in third and forever.
3rd and 40 by the scoreboard.
Not many plays in that playbook for 3rd and 40, I don't believe.
Not so much.
So, surprised Zanesville's playing their safety so far up here on this play, though. Smith will throw it across the middle. Finds a slot receiver, which is number 6, Daniel Cutliff. He finds some room up to near the 30-yard line, but that's not near enough for the first down. And Newark's going to have to punt this football back to the Blue Devils. And Zanesville's going to find themselves with pretty decent field position when this is all said and done here, Greg.
That's right. And if they can take this and incorporate good ball handling and fundamental football, they can find themselves back in that end zone again with no problem. Their pass game has looked really well against Newark as well. Their run game, they've hit a couple walls, but not too shabby from the previous 2 weeks.
Number 5 for Zanesville on the punt return.
That's right.
That's Callan Rice.
And we have 2 flags on the field after the end of the play there.
Sort out the dirty laundry on the field. Yeah. A lot of penalty flags in the in the early going of this one here, Greg. And certainly some things to talk about in the locker room for both head coaches.
Oh, yeah, because it's, giving away yardage definitely doesn't make good sense playing football.
Officials having a long discussion about this one. Could be penalties on both teams, perhaps.
They came out at different times, so I don't know exactly.
The penalty is going to be on Zanesville. Personal foul. There's another personal foul, the fourth personal foul against the Wildcats here in this game. And I believe these penalties are going to offset here, Greg.
Personal foul penalties against Zanesville and Newark. They offset.
So the penalties will offset. Zanesville will set up shop right around the 34-yard line, it looks. Their own 34. As they're still having a discussion on the field about where exactly this ball should be spotted. Now they're taking it all the way back. If they were offsetting penalties,
that doesn't make sense.
I'm not sure how. Oh, they were just going back to get the walk-off distance. Okay. So we're back where we started, right at the 34-yard line.
And we're trying to do math up here. It's not working very well tonight.
So it'll be 1st and 10, Blue Devils, from their own 34-yard line. The score is tied 7-7 here from White's Field on our South 60 Films Game of the Week. Blue Devils are moving right to left on your screen, and they're in their road whites and blue pants. Newark in the burgundy shirts and black pants. Going to be a little reverse. David Dix takes the reverse. But there's going to be that's going to be a face mask penalty on Newark. That's going to be the 5th personal foul penalty against the Wildcats. That's going to give Zanesville another free first down. And if my math's correct, that's going to move it out past the 40. Still waiting on the official call. Multiple flags out again. But they should be stepping off 15 yards, and they are taking the ball up to the 39-yard line. And it should also be an automatic first down, which it is. We still need to reset the chains. Some confusion amongst this officiating crew here tonight among the exact distances of these penalties.
We're walking it off again.
So I initially, the penalty flag came around the 25. It was a 15-yard penalty. I assumed that was going to be out to the 40. Now they're walking it all the way up to the 49. So.
And now the chain's moving, so we're setting up the chain gang.
But they must have assessed the penalty from the line of scrimmage instead of where the penalty occurred, is my only guess. However, nevertheless, Zanesville back in business. 1st and 10 at the 49. Maddox Muller took the snap, fired a pass out to his left, and that was incomplete to David Evans, the intended target, and that pass was way out ahead of Evans. He had no chance to make that catch. That's put Zanesville kind of behind the chains at 2nd and 10. I don't mind that play call, though. Try to catch Newark off guard on first down, as they're probably going to expect a run on first down most of the time.
And for sure, with man-on-man right there, you break through that one, and you've got an open field ahead of you.
Maddox Muller takes the snap. He gives to Hostetler, and he is wrapped up in the backfield by a trio of Newark Wildcats. That's going to be a loss of 2 on the play, bringing up 3rd and 12.
The Ohio Educational Credit Union replay right here. They were aggressively in there after him and taking them back. Taking them all the way back to the buses.
And that Newark penetration from that front 7 is fierce. Not a comfortable down and distance for Zanesville. 3rd down and 12. Just don't want to do anything crazy here. No turnovers. If you have to punt the football, you have to punt the football, but got to take care of it. Maddox Muller in the shotgun. He'll roll out to his left. He's looking for a receiver. And he finds J.R. Richardson, but he is pushed backwards by the Wildcat defense, and that's going to be another loss of 2 yards.
Now he had a second stop here as he caught the ball. They did get him, but they didn't wrap him up, so he had a second attempt. They were all still there, and he just still didn't quite get where he needed to go.
Relentless pursuit by the Wildcat defense. That's going to bring out the punting unit for Zanesville. Special teams coverage. We've already seen it be an issue in the first quarter on a kick return. So you've got to maintain lane discipline if you're on this kick coverage team for Zanesville. Snaps good, gets the punt away. It's a good punt. Number 2 for Newark takes it at the 15, and he's going to be brought down around the 25-yard line. That was Drayson Peterson, the same player who returned the kickoff. So good coverage there for Zanesville. Setting up Newark 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Let's see if Zanesville's defense can mount another stand here, Greg.
That's right. Definitely didn't want to make the same mistake twice right there. Let them get by you and open that up and take it to the house again.
Week 1 versus Johnstown, the Zanesville defense was gashed for 279 rushing yards on 52 attempts by the Johnnies. So you take that into consideration. They're doing an outstanding job containing this Newark attack in the early going. Bodie Smith by himself in the backfield. He takes the snap. Quick pass out to number 10, which is KK Winbush. That's going to be a modest gain. Give him 5 on the play. It's going to be 2nd and 5 as Newark starts to speed up the tempo here. They're already back to the line of scrimmage and ready to go. Bodie Smith takes the snap. He's looking left. He fires left. That's another completion. Not nearly enough for the first down, though, Greg. That's just going to be a gain of a couple yards.
We do have another flag on the field on that one.
A late flag. This could be.
Peterson on the reception.
But as far as the Newark air game right there, Zanesville's definitely playing conservative, but not too much. Let them get behind them, or you give them a little bit, but not too much.
I agree. They letting them catch that pass, they're rallying to the football and making that tackle in a timely manner. Just no big plays has got to be the motto this week for Zanesville. The officials again having a lengthy discussion about this penalty flag. They're going to wave this one off. I think I saw the initial call was a defensive hold in that scrum, and they thought better of that. They're going to wave that penalty off, and that's going to be should be the marker says 2nd down, but it should be 3rd down. Yeah, there we go. 3rd and 3.
3rd and 3.
For Newark. Big down for the Blue Devil defense. Bodie Smith, 5 wide. He takes the snap, and he was looking for a man right across the middle, which was Colton Peterson out of the backfield. That pass well off target.
Nobody was home right there.
That's going to be a 4th down and 3, and you know, if they were in plus territory, they would probably go for a 4th and 3, but I feel like in this part of the field, they have no choice but to punt this football, but you just never know in high school sports.
Risk versus reward for sure.
There's a little bit of confusion. The offense staying on the field initially. Now, Newark's going to be forced to, I believe, call a timeout here, as they were, I think, a little bit indecisive on what exactly they wanted to do.
Yeah, the offense was running back out on the field, and
the offense remained on the field. Some indecisiveness. I think Bill Franks knows if you go for this and don't get it,
you're definitely leaving Zanesville in very good field.
You don't want to give a team like Zanesville any more favors than you need to. They're going to have a hard enough time moving the football with such a young team with a first-year head coach. But I got to say I'm very impressed with the way the Zanesville has handled themselves here in the first quarter and a half of this one, as they've hung right in there. So the Wildcats coming back out on the field. Can't tell which unit this is, because looks like it's going to be the punting unit, as number 2, Drayson Peterson, is also the punter, which you better be on guard here if you're Zanesville. He's their most dynamic playmaker. But he will punt this football. Not a very good one. Angling towards the Blue Devil sideline. It's going to bounce and roll down inside the 40. Zanesville's going to set up shop around the 37-yard line.
Not a horrible field event, or not horrible field position right there.
Yeah, the last few series, it's kind of been a battle of field position in which Zanesville's winning.
Yeah.
30 yards on the punt.
Zanesville starting their series out here a lot more comfortable for a young team when you don't have your own goal line looming right behind you, where one bad snap or a fumble could really cost you points.
And the Newark penalties have definitely played in their favor for the most part and helped them out tremendously.
Yeah, 5 personal fouls against Newark here in the first half. One was negated due to a Zanesville penalty, but nevertheless, that's an excessive amount of personal fouls.
When one alone is 30 yards, for sure.
Zanesville in the shotgun. Maddox Muller takes the snap. He's looking out to the left. He finds what? Oh, I spoke too soon. Great pass by Maddox Muller and Antonio Whiteside. The intended receiver had his eyes upfield and was unable to corral that football.
In his hands and right through his fingers, for sure.
Seems to be the favored target of Muller, however. We mentioned 6'1", 175 pounds is Whiteside. Very athletic-looking kid. Muller out of the shotgun once again by himself in the backfield. 3 wide with kind of a wing back. And that's going to be a false start on Zanesville. About 3 different Blue Devils moved before the snap.
They were already in the backfield.
That's going to cost them 5 yards.
False start against the Blue Devils.
2nd and 15 for the Blue Devils again.
That excitement, that's still that, that rivalry, the excitement, and it just can bite you.
They seem to be having a little bit of success with Pouncey in that first quarter with some edge runs, but they seem to have gone away from that. It's been mostly Hostetler in the backfield here in the second quarter. Maddox Muller takes the snap, hands to Hostetler, and he almost gets the penalty yardage back. Give him 3, maybe 4 on that second down tote. Be 3rd down and long for Zanesville.
Brought down by Preston Lunsford.
We'll see how aggressive first-year head coach T.J. Carper wants to get with his play calling here. We mentioned he came from Vinton County where he accumulated a 22-11 record. So a lot of success in Vinton County for the Vikings, but winless here in the early going for the Blue Devils. Maddox Muller in shotgun formation. He'll take the snap, rolls to his left, under heavy pressure. He'll just have to throw this one away, and that's going to be I thought it was going to be intentional grounding, but this may be another roughing the passer penalty against Newark. We'll have to wait and see. If they rough the passer on 3rd and 15, their coach, that's going to be a roughing the passer.
And that's giving them yards. That's just absolutely giving them.
Wow. I mean, that's the 6th personal foul assessed to the Wildcats here in the first half of this one. And on 3rd and 15, the Blue Devils are going to get a free first down, and they will gladly take it.
That's what I say. They're not going to turn that one down for sure.
Yeah. As the Zanesville offense can kind of regroup with a fresh set of change. It seems like a lot of confusion every penalty with this officiating crew here tonight. I think they're kind of unsure where to assess the yardage from, the line of scrimmage or where the penalty occurred.
It looks like it might be from the line of scrimmage. Yep, it's going to go from the line of scrimmage.
So that's going to move the ball all the way up to midfield. Right at midfield, right at the 50-yard line.
As the chain gang moves, and we begin again.
So Zanesville, another break, and they will take it. As we are under 6 minutes to play in the second quarter here at White's Field, South 60 Films Game of the Week. Zanesville 7, Newark 7. Zanesville with the football, 1st and 10 at midfield. Maddox Muller's in shotgun formation. Carson Hostetler to his left. Muller's going to take the snap, under pressure, looks to run. He finds a way to get a couple yards out of that one, Greg. So 2nd and 8 for the Blue Devils coming up as Muller's really finding it hard to find time to look downfield as the Newark pass rush really seems to be on him very quickly.
Yeah, when that pass rush comes in, they come in full throttle. And, I mean, he was able to squeeze something out of that at least, and it's not behind the chains, so that's always a positive.
That's frustrating as a quarterback. There's no time for those routes to develop.
And it shows the defense, the coverage that Newark has in the backfield.
Maddox Muller takes the snap. He's going to hand it to Hostetler. Finds 1, maybe 2 yards up into the teeth of the Wildcat defense. That's going to bring up 3rd and long yet again. Call it 3rd and 8 for the Blue Devils as the clock continues to run here in the first period. 5 minutes, 30 seconds and counting. Three wide, 2 wide, and a wingback for Maddox Muller. Carson Hostetler to his left. Maddox Muller's pass attempt is going to be blocked down at the line of scrimmage.
Looks like we have a false start flag possibly on the field.
We do have a penalty marker on the field. See what the indication is here. Could be another pre-snap penalty on the Blue Devils. They're certainly going to decline this one if it's on Zanesville. You don't want to give them a second shot at 3rd down, which they did decline it. So we're going to bring up 4th down and 8.
Declining the false start.
So Zanesville's going to have to punt this football back to Newark. But we mentioned the battle of this field position. Zanesville's in a good part of the field to maybe pin Newark back inside their own 20 if they can get their coverage unit down there in time. Snap is good. Kick is away. It's a very high kick. And that's going to be fair caught and a penalty marker on the field. I think it's going to be fair catch interference on Zanesville. It looked like one of the Blue Devil gunners made contact with Peterson. It's going to be fair catch interference. That's exactly what the call is. So they're going to walk this yardage off.
Should we go to the Ohio Educational Credit Union replay right here so we can see.
He just made contact just
made
before the ball got there.
Yep.
That's a textbook case of fair catch interference. That's going to move the football up 10 yards. Newark's going to start this at their own 29-yard line. Bodie Smith in shotgun. He'll take the snap. No room. Hands that football off. I think that was Irvin Royster on the carry, and the Zanesville defense up to the challenge once again.
Ran into that brick wall right there of Zanesville's line and didn't get anywhere at all.
You can see the size difference from up here in the front 4 of Zanesville against the front 5 of the Newark Wildcat offensive line. And there's a noticeable size difference in favor of Newark. And Zanesville's really holding their own here in this one. 2nd and 12 for the Wildcats. Bodie Smith takes the snap. He's looking to pass. And that was number 2, his intended target, Jason Peterson. I think he may have heard footsteps as that ball was on target, but unable to corral that football as the Zanesville defender timed it up really well.
Coverage was right there. Yep. Couldn't ask for a better one right there.
As poorly as this defense has performed through 2 weeks, you really can't tell here tonight.
No, not at all. And once again, it goes back to rivalry football, and you can throw everything out the window.
A 3rd and long for Newark. Bodie Smith looking left. He's taking a shot. Did he catch that football? He did not. Out of bounds. Great throw by junior quarterback Bodie Smith.
Pass is incomplete.
As the coverage was outstanding by Zanesville.
They were pacing each other perfectly.
Outstanding coverage and a great throw. The receiver just unable to come down with that one. And another 3 and out for Newark. Zanesville's going to get the football back. 4:20 to play in this one in the first half. And Zanesville could find a way to use the rest of this first half clock and put points on the board. I think that would give them a lot of confidence heading into the locker room.
For sure, high snap right there on the punt.
And another short punt. And that punt's going to roll out of bounds
about
at around the Newark. They're going to say the 45-yard line of the Wildcats.
Yep.
Zanesville's going to set up shop in plus territory to begin this series.
If you can keep the momentum and keep that swing going and definitely get on the board again, get up on them, and they get the ball back in the second half.
Yeah, the Blue Devils kicked the ball off to start this game. So they will receive the third quarter kickoff.
2 yards on the kick.
And we haven't seen Vaughn Pouncey for several series. It's been Carson Hostetler in the backfield with Maddox Muller. And it's going to be Hostetler once again joining Muller in the backfield. Off to his right hip. Muller once again in shotgun formation. He takes the snap. He's going to hand to Hostetler. A little bit of room. Irvin Royster for Newark makes contact. It's going to give a nice gain for Zanesville. Give them 3, maybe 4 on that one. Second down and 6.
On the play, number 17, Irvin Royster.
Once again, just keep in front of the chains if you're the Blue Devils. Pouncey back on the field for Zanesville. Off to Muller's right. Maddox Muller, shotgun formation, takes the snap, looking right, passes right, completion to number 8, but no room to run there. That's Whiteside again. David Evans on the reception for Zanesville. And he was contacted immediately, maybe a yard on that one. So 3rd and a long 5 for Zanesville. We'll see what they dial up here for the Blue Devils, but Antonio Whiteside's been a good option on passing downs for Zanesville up to this point.
For sure, and you can't deny the defense on that one either. The way they're not letting them get behind them, they're staying right with them and not giving any quarter once they meet up in the middle there.
Whiteside was at the bottom of the screen, but Maddox Moore looked to his right the entire time.
Pass is incomplete.
And that pass was broken up by the Wildcat defender. That's going to bring up 4th and 6. And I imagine Zanesville will punt this football, but we will wait and see.
2:49 left in the second quarter.
You can't win the game in the first half, but you can sure do a lot to lose it. And I think Zanesville just needs to play it safe here. But they may be lining up to go for this one, and they are.
They are.
Riverboat Gambler, T.J. Carper. 4 wide and a wingback. And I think he may going to time out Blue Devils. T.J. Carper may think twice about this one, unless he just wants to get on the same page with his offense. This would be a huge down for both squads.
And this is definitely one time you don't want to give up a penalty. You don't want to give up to give them a first down without them earning it.
Very curious if they do go for this. You're going to give the Newark offense excellent field position if you don't make this. We'll see what they come out in. I see Pouncey coming back on the field with Muller. The offense is back on the field for Zanesville. See if it's the same formation they were in. It's a different formation. So we're going to have 3 wide. Antonio Whiteside, he's lined up all the way to the bottom of your screen, man to man. That's a great pass, but I'm not sure he made it. And second effort's going to get that first down for Zanesville. That pass was complete to Jordan Cooley. He's a 6'2", 230-pound tight end, outstanding size.
That second effort right there, the Ohio Educational Credit Union replay, and that
second effort
stretch. That's all you can ask for.
Yep.
And both teams have not given up. Both teams have definitely just gave extra after the play.
Maddox Muller, shotgun formation. Pouncey to his left. He'll hand the ball to Pouncey, and Pouncey finds some room. That may be another Blue Devil first down as Von Pouncey takes that ball for 11 yards right into the teeth of the Newark defense. You get a second look at this one.
Yeah, it looks like he was dragging a defender with him for about 7 yards.
I've been very impressed with Von Pouncey. Number 9 for Zanesville. Very strong running here in the first half. He'll remain on the field on Maddox Muller's right hip. Maddox Muller will take the shotgun snap. He'll hand it to Pouncey. Finds some running room again. That hole closed quickly, however. Give him 3 yards on the carry. It's going to bring up 2nd and 7 for Zanesville, but that fourth down conversion not only moved the chains, but it in all likelihood ensured Zanesville will keep possession for the remainder of the second quarter.
And that momentum is key right there.
1 minute, 30 seconds and counting to play in the first half of this one. 2nd and 7 for the Blue Devils. Muller takes the shotgun snap. The play breaks down. He looks for running room. He's not going to find it. As the Newark defense.
They closed in on that hole that he saw for a hot second.
They did.
Closed up real quick.
You could see some daylight, and that hole closed up in a hurry. That's going to back them up 2 yards to around the original line of scrimmage. It's going to be 3rd down and 10 for the Blue Devils from the Newark Wildcat 24-yard line. Let's see what TJ Carper dials up here. We can only assume they're still in 4-down territory if they don't get it here on 3rd. Maddox Muller takes the snap. He's going to take the run himself, a design quarterback draw. Very good on that one. Give him 4, maybe even 5, as that was a design quarterback run the entire way. That's going to bring up 4th and 6, maybe a long 5 for the Blue Devils, and we have a timeout on the field. Zanesville Blue Devils called that timeout here, Greg, and 51 seconds left in this one. Another huge 4th down upcoming for Zanesville.
And this, the risk versus reward. Do you try to get into the end zone for this one, or do you try to put it up for a field goal and, just get 3, get the ball back, and just try to expand that lead if you can take the lead here?
And they lined up for a long field goal earlier in the quarter, and it was blocked. And that was a 45-yard attempt. From where they are now, you're looking at about a 38-yard attempt. And it looks like they're going to attempt another field goal here, Greg. This is going to be officially a 36-yard field goal attempt for Zanesville. Kicker is Cam Van Kirk, 5'10", 175-pound senior. Let's see if that Zanesville offensive front can keep that penetration from getting in there so quickly this time. Snap's good. Kick looks good. It is wide to the left. Had plenty of distance. Just a tad wide to the left. Very good attempt by Zanesville, however. They wanted to possibly take that opportunity to get 3 points on the board. No go for Zanesville. It's going to leave 42 seconds on the first half clock, so Zanesville desperately cannot allow a defensive breakdown here in these final 42 seconds, because I imagine Newark will probably get pretty aggressive here on these play calls.
I would think so. I would think they should be shooting for downfield and definitely being very aggressive right here to try to get up on them before they get the ball back in the second half.
Bodie Smith, shotgun snap. He's looking downfield. Pressure comes. He is going to be sacked by the Blue Devils. Let's see who that is. 22.
There's a Higher Education
Michael Reese.
replay.
Michael Reese in there for Zanesville, one of a trio of Blue Devils that sacked Smith for a big loss. It's going to take the football all the way back to around the 12-yard line. Call it 2nd and 18 for the Wildcats, and Zanesville or Newark's in no hurry to run this play. They may let the first half clock expire, and it looks like they're going to do that. That's a victory for Zanesville to get in the locker room tied 7-7 here in this one.
For sure. I mean, rivalry game, the last 2 weeks has not gone their way at all. This is exactly what they need to have starting the second half.
So the first half of action is in the books from White's Field. It is Newark 7, Zanesville 7. We're going to step aside momentarily, and we will be back shortly with the first half analysis of this one.
vanilla. We've got chocolate. We've got chocolate raspberry. I know which one. And now, under the direction of MVL Game, please welcome our Devilettes to the field. Tonight, they'll perform to Let's Get Loud.
Presented by CA House Music. Play music for life. Presented by CA House Music. Play music for life.
Be close.
Tonight, the band will perform the second and third segments of their 2024 contest show entitled Iconic. The show tonight will feature Elton John's Tiny Dancer and Taylor Swift's Shake It Off. The soloists include Savannah Robinson, Joe Ewart, Peyton Wright, and CeCe Hewitt. like to thank all of you for your attention, as well as the Zanesville administration and staff, the community of Zanesville City Schools, Zanesville Band alumni, and our band boosters for their continued support. Thank you.
Once again, ladies and gentlemen, and please welcome back to the field the 2024 Pride of Newark. The band is led on field by drum majors Tiana Al-Sabor, Quinn Finney, and Ali Terrence. Tonight, we present the closing portion of our 2024 production, Renaissance. Featured performers include Alex Hammer, Sage Harris, Will Casson, and Caden Shaw. Please enjoy Renaissance. along as we cheer the Wildcats to victory with the Newark High School fight song. The band is under the direction of Mr. Lee Auer. Additional staff includes Zach Banks, Shelby.
Thank you for watching the band halftime show presented by CA House Music. Play music for life.
Welcome back to Newark's Whites Field, where we are at halftime. Zanesville Blue Devils 7, Newark Wildcats 7. And here come the first half highlights as we're going to see Zanesville on their very first possession. Maddox Moeller hits Antonio Whiteside in the corner of the end zone for the Zanesville touchdown. That came off a Newark turnover. They were going to see Zanesville getting their field goal attempt blocked here in the first quarter by the Wildcat special teams unit. But the first half here, Greg, Newark got the football first and threw an interception to David Dix, and he subsequently ran the football back down to the 20-yard line. Zanesville was able to get on the scoreboard early. On the ensuing kickoff, the Newark Wildcats run the football all the way back for a touchdown. We thought, hey, maybe we're going to be in for a shootout here tonight. Not so much. We played to a 0-0 stalemate since that time. And we have a 7-7 tie here tonight. And I got to think, if you're the Zanesville Blue Devils in that locker room, you love the position you're in here.
Oh, for sure. And you love the fact that Newark has given up a lot of penalty yards for them in the first half and helped set them up for all that as well. I mean, we didn't even see the Newark offense for almost the entire first quarter.
That's true, and they were unable to find a rhythm where the Wildcats offense they have been unable to find any success anywhere so far. Let's see if, I'm sure adjustments on both sides, so we'll see how it plays out here in the second half. But Zanesville's got to feel really good about the position they're in after not scoring a single point and allowing 36 per through the first 2 weeks.
Exactly, and
to be right here in this rivalry game tied 7-7 against a Division I opponent.
Yep, and that's the word.
Yep.
You know, the psychological, the everything that goes into that rivalry. That sometimes, you know, you see it in the other levels, collegiate, NFL, the same way. Yep. Sometimes it just doesn't matter what the last few weeks have done for you. You just come out and it works. With the young coaching staff for Zanesville, young players with Zanesville as well. There's been a lot of change there, but they're looking like these are fourth-year seniors.
And the kick is mishandled by Zanesville's David Evans. And Evans is going to be buried all the way back around the 10-yard line as he tried to field that ball and was unable to get a handle on it, ended up losing yardage on the return.
The Ohio Educational Credit Union replay right here. Yeah, caught it, dropped it, picked it back up, and then really had nowhere to go and was trying to do the best he could at that point.
Yeah, you just need to get north and south as fast as possible
east-west.
and get as much as you can there. But Zanesville will have the first possession here of the third quarter. And it will be Maddox Moeller once again in shotgun formation. Hostetler gets the carry for Zanesville. Not much going. Maybe back to the line of scrimmage. Not much more.
We've got flags down now. So
these are late flags. Very late flags. So that's going to be a half the distance penalty. It's going to take it back around the 5. Set up a 2nd and 15, I believe. So Zanesville returning the favor, I guess.
From the first half Newark penalties.
Newark committed 6 of them in the first half. That's the first personal foul penalty assessed to the Blue Devils here in this one. So now the Blue Devils really backed up against it. Maddox Moeller, feet planted on his own goal line, takes the snap. He's in trouble.
And he is.
That could be a safety. We'll see if he got the ball out.
I think he might have.
I think he did too. I think he got the football out. I think the majority of his body was in the end zone, but the football was actually out.
Looks like
fortunately for Zanesville. Dangerous play call there by TJ Carper.
And this also goes into where if they can't convert third, then if we're punting in the fourth, we got a very short backfield at that point, and they've already blocked the field goal. That Newark defense gets aggressive in there, and that still could spell damage for them.
Very good point. So if nothing else, you got to get outside the shadow of your own goal line here if you're Zanesville. Maddox Moeller takes the snap. He'll run it straight forward. Not much doing. He may have got the ball to the 1-yard line.
Looks like he's about to work maybe.
And that's going to bring up that situation you just mentioned, Greg, where The punter is literally going to have his heels nearly on the backside of the end zone. So snap is going to be crucial here. And just get whatever kickoff that you can get. If you can get it out to the 30 to 35 yard line, I think that would be a huge victory for Zanesville here in the special teams unit.
And we talked about the size difference of the lines and everything where they've got to be.
The punt is off. Not a bad looking punt. It's going to hit at the 35. He mishandles it. And he's Jason Peterson able to bounce back on that football, mishandled that punt.
And Zanesville was there trying to get that ball back.
Yep. Peterson, their do-everything playmaker, mishandled that one and nearly turned it right back over to the Blue Devils. But considering where the Blue Devils were punting from, to get it out to the 39-yard line, I think is a success. Set your defense up in a position where they can possibly get the football back for you here.
And we were not far from this point when they did get the interception before, and so I mean it's still a lot of field.
Yeah, quarterback Bodie Smith has thrown several inaccurate passes here tonight. He's in shotgun formation. He's going to hand the ball off. Looks like we're going to have a hold against Newark because flags come out. We'll wait on the official indication, but that certainly looks like it, and it is a hold against Newark. That's going to back them up 5 yards. It's going to be 1st and 15 for the Wildcats. Even if there wasn't a penalty there, that Zanesville front looked like it was up to the challenge yet again.
Yep. They've definitely been able to hold their own for the most part, for sure. And looking at stats from the last 2 weeks, you wouldn't think so, but they have definitely flipped the script on us.
Now we have it's going to be about a 1st and 20 for the Newark Wildcats. Pistol formation for Newark. Bodie Smith's the quarterback. He will take the snap. He'll look right and fire right across the middle. He connects with number 8, Preston Lunsford. Second connection between those two tonight. Very good gain on first down for Newark.
So we watched the Ohio Educational Credit Union replay.
Daniel Cutler.
It's going to be a 13-yard gain for the Wildcats. 2nd and 7 at the Blue Devil 36-yard line.
Performed as designed.
Yep. Bodie Smith in the pistol formation. Irvin Royster, the running back behind him. He'll look left and fire left. Finds Edwards. Or Peterson, rather. That's Jason Peterson. That's going to be a gain of 8. Taking the ball down to the Zanesville 29-yard line and another first down for Zanesville. As this is about as fluid and as crisp as the Wildcats have looked all game.
For sure, and Zanesville's defense still holding them, still stopping them, and not giving them any quarter once they make contact right there. They're definitely playing the ball well.
As you can see on these passing plays, Bodie Smith's planting his back foot in the ground and letting that football go. Not wasting any time.
No, and he's trusting his receivers are going to be where he should be when he should be there.
Full house in the backfield. That's going to be pre-snap. False start penalty against Newark as 3 of the 5 linemen came out of their stands too early. So back the Wildcats up yet again as, wow, we don't have an official number on penalties, but Newark is really racking up team penalties in this football game as penalties have been the killer of their drives all night long.
It really has.
1st and 15 for the Wildcats. Alexander Irvin Royster and the running back in the backfield. Bodie Smith will look across the middle. He finds his man. He's got room to run.
He turned that corner.
That's Jason Peterson, the most dangerous player on the field. And he took that screen pass all the way into the end zone for the Wildcats score. And just like that, 13-7 Newark. Extra point pending.
Kicked into high gear forward drive, was untouchable right there as he turned that corner.
Yeah, he is really fast. That's the older of the 2 Peterson brothers. That's Drayson. He's a 6', 180-pound senior. Kick is up, and it is good for Newark. Newark 14, Zanesville 7. As we get the third quarter here underway. 8 minutes to play in this one, and Zanesville's really going to need a response on this drive. Go 3 and out and give the football right back to Newark. For sure, disaster for this young Zanesville team.
It could, and the second quarter, they were controlling the ball, they were working the ball, they were doing everything they needed to do. They couldn't score there at the end, but no one agreed the ball back. But then it's not kind of gone their way that they need to go right now.
You'd love to see your offense start churning out some yardage. Really liked what we saw from Von Pouncey in that first half, as he was really running hard between the tackles, getting everything out of each run he possibly could. We'll see if that line can give Maddox Muller some time. Maybe they're going to try to attack downfield. But
for sure, and sometimes if you change too much at halftime, maybe it wasn't a good change to do sometimes. So, depending on how they did it and what they're doing, and, they may have to go back to what worked in the first half.
A nice return would set you up really well right here. Another great kickoff, though. That's out of bounds, though. That's That's going to be a kickoff out of bounds. That's going to bring the football all the way up to the 35-yard line, I believe, is where they're going to bring this. So a break for Zanesville as they're going to start this series out with outstanding field position. I think it's the 35-yard line, I believe. And it is. That's where they're setting the markers up.
Sorry about that.
You really get penalized for kicking the ball out of bounds on a kickoff.
And you're 3 yards, 3 yards would, cost you that much right there. You're trying to pin them deep, but then that out of bounds it definitely does hurt you on the backside of that one.
So the Blue Devils, as I mentioned, will start this one from their own 35-yard line. Maddox Muller, shotgun formation, fakes to Hostetler, throws to the tight end, Jordan Cooley, and he is dropped immediately. I like the play call, though. The Newark defense was just all over that.
They were, definitely. They were in the backfield ready to go.
But if you're going to throw the ball, I like the idea of getting the ball out of your quarterback's hand quickly and trying to get a receiver in space.
For sure, and we just watched Newark in their last drive do that, and it worked phenomenally for them.
Maddox Muller in the backfield. Hostetler on his right hip. Maddox will take this one himself. A trio of Newark defenders swarmed him behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of 3 yards on the play. That's going to bring up third and call it 13 for the Zanesville Blue Devils.
So not sure in the second half as we start this if Newark's defense is coming out harder, faster, stronger, or if Zanesville's offense is not quite firing on the cylinders they were in the first half.
It appears that
or a combination of the two.
They got a good chewing out at halftime because they're playing with a lot more attitude and energy here to begin the second half. The Newark defense, that is.
Agreed.
Maddox Muller takes the snap, rolls to his left, looking downfield. He'll let it go, looking for Whiteside, unable to make that connection. Would not have been a first down anyway.
Out of bounds.
Well short of the first down marker. It's going to bring a Zanesville punting unit back onto the field here, Greg. And
14.
This is a big series coming up for the Zanesville defense.
It really is, and especially if you do not get a very good punt here, if you give them a short field to work with, you could be a few more nails possibly, and you don't need that right now, especially with a lot of football left to be played.
So Drayson Peterson back to return this punt. He'll field it at about the 30, looking for space. Good coverage by Zanesville. They bring him down around the 43-yard line. So Newark, 57 yards away from pay dirt. See what they have to offer in this series, as they looked a lot sharper in that first series of the third quarter than they did any point in the first half.
They did, for sure. That, quarterback stepping back, firing the ball when their pass plays, trusting the receiver to be where he needs to be when he needs to be there, and catching the ball and doing what he did after the catch.
First and 10 Wildcats.
And come out in a pistol formation yet again. All the Wildcats. Bodie Smith takes the snap. He's going to hand the ball off. No running room there. In fact, maybe a loss of yardage on that play as number 54 for Zanesville was in there. He's the first man on the scene. Cannon Mercer for Zanesville, and memory serves me right, he was one of the captains pre-game, so he and David Dix making a big impact here defensively, two of the captains for the Blue Devils. Wildcats yet again. Shotgun formation. Smith takes the snap, looking right, throws downfield, just overthrows his intended receiver, which was number 10, KK Winbush. Connected with Winbush in the first half for a sizable gain across the middle, but unable to find that connection there. Newark has some speed on the outside.
They do.
You can really see that up here. When they find isolations one-on-one, they really try to exploit those matchups.
And you have to give credit to the backs of Zanesville too, because they're keeping pretty well step-to-step with them, and they've held them pretty well.
Four wide formation for the Wildcats. Bodie Smith takes the snap, looking down the middle. He'll let it go. Well overthrown. David Dix was closer to that one than the intended receiver.
Interception replay of the first half there.
That's going to bring up a fourth down.
He had a lot of time in the pocket right there to get that out of there. The line was definitely holding him up.
Huge stand for Zanesville. I'm a little surprised on 3rd and 11. They got that aggressive down, really going downfield on a 3rd and 11. Bad snap on the punt. He was able to field that one. I got a good punt away, did Newark. Fair catch signal for Zanesville. And he's going to make it down there. And
for a high snap right there, he's able to convert that over and do a really good punt right there.
Callan Rice on the fair catch for Zanesville. So Zanesville not getting down that dreaded 2 possessions. They're keeping this game in 1 possession, which I think is your goal right now. You held up defensively there. Now you need to get something going with your offense, as their only score tonight came off a defensive turnover that set them up down inside the 20. So Zanesville's yet to show they can move the ball 20-20 against this Newark defense.
Yes, because they also had some penalties against Newark that helped them move the ball down the field as well.
Late comer onto the field for Zanesville is David Evans. He's lined up in the slot. They're going to hand this one off. I think that's Pouncey. Can't see from here in the scrum. Yeah, it is Vaughn Pouncey. He's going to run for 3 yards, maybe 4. So 2nd and 7 upcoming for Zanesville. And I think Pouncey has been by far their best option here tonight, as he's really running with a lot of attitude and aggression, trying to turn out every extra yard he can. He's in the backfield with Mueller on this play. 2nd and 7.
Definitely has been a freight train through there for sure.
Maddox Mueller, the junior quarterback, will take the snap. Hand to Pouncey. He's looking for room around the left side. You can't find it. Still trying, still fighting. Just a lot of east and west motion there for Zanesville, and you're not going to outrun this Newark Wildcat defense sideline to sideline. You're going to have to find something you like north and south and get as much as you can.
For a short gain, brought down by number 7.
He was able to muster up a yard or 2 out of that carry.
It looked like a lot of that was second or third effort after contacts. He just kept fighting for it.
It's going to be a 3rd and a long 4 for the Blue Devils. Vaughn Pouncey stays on the field. Maddox Mueller takes the snap. He's looking. He throws out. He finds a connection, and that's the Zanesville Blue Devils. J.R. Richardson. He's going to pick up the first down. Huge play for Zanesville, as J.R. Richardson, his first catch of the night, 5'11", 190-pound senior.
The Ohio Educational Credit Union replay right here, as he missed that tackle right there over his back and gave him all the opportunity to get that first down.
He showed some good agility and athleticism for a 190-pound running back out of the backfield.
Didn't let footsteps scare him either. He caught the ball, turned, and tried to get it downfield as much as possible.
Huge first down for the Devils. Maddox Muller continues to be in shotgun formation. He'll take the snap, hand to Pouncey. Pouncey looking for yardage, not much going. 1, maybe 2. It's going to be 2nd and 9 for the Blue Devils. 3 minutes and 19 seconds left in the third quarter. Zanesville could really use a long time consuming drive that ends in points.
For sure, get that score tied back up again. And try to get back on defense and hold them again and try to, that's what you're going to, the common sense thing to do.
Von Pouncey out there again on Muller's right hip. Maddox Muller will take the snap, give to Pouncey. Nothing doing. Now Pouncey stays on his feet. Second effort may have cost him a couple yards there.
I think it might have there as he tried to go east-west again, then they got him back for 3 or 4 more.
Yeah. But as a coach, you're never going to tell a player to not fight for those yards.
Oh, yeah.
He's been giving it 100% effort out there tonight. But that's going to set Zanesville behind the chains. 3rd and 13 for Zanesville. And this is not comfortable for them. Just try to keep this Newark pass rush at bay and give Muller enough time to get a pass off. He's rolling out to his right, looking, throws in traffic.
Oh, well.
That ball nearly intercepted.
It was.
By Irvin Royster.
As a Newark on Newark collision right there caused the bobble the ball.
Yeah,
It's going to be Ohio Educational Credit Union replay.
Yeah, those two Wildcat defenders arrived at the scene at the same time. And
2 Mack trucks.
Yep. Knocked the football loose from one another. Newark going to send 2 receivers back for this punt return, so watch out. And they might be setting up some sort of return. And the punt is away. It's a low one. It's going to hit at the 40 and bounce out of bounds. Great punt by Zanesville. Don't give the Wildcats an opportunity to make a special teams play. As they've shown in this one, that's one of their dangerous units out there is their return units.
For sure, fast across the board and dangerous. You can't count them out for sure.
So the Blue Devil defense back on the field.
A very fast third quarter, 2 minutes, 3 seconds left. It's moving right along. As it seems like we're playing between the 30s right now. And
the second half has been played, in the middle of the field primarily. Let's see if Zanesville up to the task once again defensively. The Newark Wildcats will give it to Irvin Royster, looking for space, and he's fighting dragon tacklers.
That's where those sled drills come in handy during two-a-days right there.
Yeah, Irvin Royster, he drug a Zanesville defender an extra 3 yards on that carry. As you can see, the hole almost closed up right there, and he just continues to plow forward, making an 8-yard gain out of what should have been 3 or 4. 2nd and 2 for Newark. Double running backs, one on each hip with Brody Smith. Smith will take the snap. He'll hand it off to number 32. He's got a lane and a first down for Newark. That was Colton Peterson, the younger of the 2 brothers, on the carry. Taking that ball near midfield.
Trying to break that free, not let his brother get a touchdown up on him this game.
Shotgun formation, 2 running backs in the backfield. Smith will hand it off. That is Peterson once again.
The Zanesville defense was in the backfield right there, just couldn't quite get him wrapped up to bring him down, and that second effort.
Yeah, that's gonna be a timeout for Zanesville on the defensive side, as TJ Carper has saw enough. He wants to talk to this defensive unit. A couple of 8-yard carries in there, where these Newark running backs are really starting to run hard. Talking about Colton Peterson as well as Irvin Royster, Alexander Irvin Royster. They're really running hard right now here in this third quarter. And I think, just by the eye of that first half, it looks like Newark may have overlooked Zanesville this year. And they may have got a good talking to at halftime, because it's a different looking football team we're seeing from Newark.
It really is. And even, so whether who changed what, definitely Newark is playing more aggressive and definitely a lot faster football at this point than they did in the first half.
So, quick timeout for the Blue Devils defensively. Try to regroup. Get the football back for your offense. The Wildcats are moving it into territory now, however, where they're probably going to be, if they pick up one more first down, it's probably going to be 4-down territory for the Wildcats. Smith takes the shotgun snap. He's looking to pass. Lots of time. He's going to run this football. He's going to take it all the way down inside the 35-yard line, giving Newark another first down. He was looking to throw that ball across the middle and nothing open. He just made the best of what was not there.
But gives you a first down, stops the clock, 46 seconds left in the third. And we reset the chains.
Under a minute to play in the third quarter. Peterson and Irvin Royster in the backfield with Bodie Smith. Smith takes the shotgun snap, gives to Irvin Royster. He's finding space in there right now. That's another 8 yards for Alexander Irvin Royster, as this duo of Newark Wildcat running backs are finding some space to operate in there now.
And for sure, and this is definitely not the first half Newark Wildcat football we watched.
Not at all. The blocking's better. The running is more efficient. It's just a completely different looking team as we got a Blue Devil down on the turf right now. Looks like holding the right knee. Can't see the number to make out who that is. Looks like maybe 17. If it should be J.R. Richardson. If that's the case, that would be a major injury for Zanesville. As he's a contributor on both sides of the football. He's one of the few seniors on this team. As I feel like if it was a cramp, they would have been stretching him by now. He is favoring that right leg. J.R. Richardson for the Blue Devils going to come off the field under his own power, though.
A little hobble to him, but maybe nothing.
Hopefully he can return to this football game. He made the huge third down conversion on the previous series for Zanesville. And he's going to find his way to the sidelines. And Newark will set up shop at the 25-yard line of the Blue Devils. Shotgun snap. Gives the younger Peterson. He's got a lot of room, and he is going to dive for the pylon. He's going to be just short. He dove for the pylon and came up just about a yard short. Going to get another look at this one, the Higher Educational Credit Union replay. That's Colton Peterson. Dives for the pylon and just hits out of bounds before he can cross the goal line. Nevertheless, that sets the Wildcats up about the 1 or 2 yard line.
And the pace of the football game, the attitude of the football game has definitely changed to start the second half. And as we wrap up the third quarter.
Yeah, the intensity level and the sense of urgency is what you can tell is really favoring Newark here in the second half. They're going to go for 2 here. They're going to throw for it and get it. And that wasn't a 2-point conversion. That was the touchdown. I'm sorry. That's going to be a touchdown to number 6, KK Winbush, I believe. We're going to get a second look at this. Newark extends their lead. 20-7, extra point pending. Now we're getting into the danger zone for Zanesville. And the kick is up and good. 21-7 in favor of Newark. And that's what we talked about. Getting down 2 possessions against Newark is going to be a steep hill to climb for Zanesville.
It is, for sure. Like those hills they run during practice, this is definitely a position you don't want to be in to come back 14, or if by some chance you give up another one to where you're trying to dig out of that quicksand.
But I don't necessarily think that a win or a loss is necessarily what you're looking for out of this game if you're Zanesville. I think you're just looking to find something to improve upon, because they have been unable to move the football or score in the first 2 weeks. They've already gotten the end zone here on this one, but there's still a lot of room for improvement offensively for the Zanesville Blue Devils. Just 5 seconds remaining here in this third period of action. We're going to move to the fourth as Zanesville starts this next series. See what the kickoff offers here. You never know in these special teams plays. You can find lightning in a bottle from time to time. And the kick is up, and it's going to be fielded at around the 15 by David Dix. David Evans, rather. And he gets the ball up past the 20-yard line, where Zanesville will set up shop for this possession. Okay, we're going to step aside momentarily. We'll be right back after this. And welcome back to Newark White's Field. We're beginning the fourth quarter of action here. Newark Wildcats 21, Zanesville Blue Devils 7 to begin this quarter. Zanesville 1st and 10 from their own 22-yard line as the Blue Devils desperately need to find some rhythm offensively, if nothing else, to end this game. Maddox Muller takes the shotgun snap, looking downfield. That ball is going to be intercepted. Well underthrown was that football. That ball is going to be intercepted by number 3, Tyler Hurd, for the Newark Wildcats, and they will get the football right back as Newark flexing their muscle here in the second half, Greg.
It looks like a weak throw. I don't know. It started raining again right as we came back from break. I can't quite tell if that was maybe a bad snap or a weak throw, maybe a wet hand thing, but yeah, it just fell short.
Yeah. It could have been a miscommunication. Receiver may have ran a different route than his quarterback was expecting, and the moisture could have something to do with it. There's a lot of factors out there.
For sure, and now your defense has to definitely step. They've been on the field a lot this second half, and they're going to have to definitely step up and stop them here. Don't get deeper in that well.
And Irvin Royster, the ball carrier for Newark, and he turns out 11, call it 12 yards for the Wildcats, as Newark is really finding some space to run the football here in the second half as they're turning out yardage in chunks.
As we watch the Ohio Educational Credit Union replay right here, even after a few hits, like the Energizer Bunny, just kept on going.
Yeah, Irvin Royster, the bigger of the two backs that Newark has featured here tonight, but both backs have been effective.
And especially as they put them both in the backfield and been running that offense, it's been working for them.
I agree. Shotgun snap. Smith's looking to pass, looking, rolling out to his right. He's going to throw it right through the hands of his intended target, which was KK Winbush. Daniel Cutliff, rather, for the Newark was the intended receiver. So 2nd and 10 for Newark, and a little surprised they elected to throw downfield on 1st and 10.
And I think he might have been looking a little bit deeper toward the end zone right there, just couldn't get anybody open.
Ground game has certainly been effective for the Wildcats here in this second half. It's going to be Colton Peterson in the backfield with Brody Smith. Smith's going to look to pass again, right through the hands of his intended receiver. That was Cutliff yet again, out of the slot position. And that moisture has to be playing a factor there. It's not a full rain, it's kind of a misty type of rain, which can still lead to some very slippery conditions on the field.
Then they've ran that play a few times and it's worked. I think you're right. I think it is wet hands, wet ball, and definitely it's going to be maybe back to the ground a little bit, ground and pound, and get it downfield. Because those are dangerous ones too. As it's tipped off your hands, you got to watch that interception right there too.
I think that's going to be 5-yard penalty against the Blue Devils, offside infraction, and it is. That's going to.
I think it might have been trying to read the count there and just didn't quite get it.
Offside against Blue Devils.
So free 5 yards for the Wildcats. Makes a 3rd and 10, a 3rd and 5. Those are two drastically different down and distances. Opens up the whole playbook here for Newark. As they got 2 running backs in the backfield yet again, Peterson and Irvin Royster. Gives to Peterson. He's running around the left side, a lot of room. He's going to take this one all the way into the end zone for his 2nd score of the football game. And the Newark Wildcats extend their lead to 27-7. Get a second look at this one. As you see Peterson's speed, the vision, it's all there.
Is that opening
outstanding
made its
looking
way on the
sophomore
line?
right there.
Oh my gosh, yes, for sure. Came through there and just lit it up, took it to the house for him.
And just a sophomore is Colton Peterson, so future looking bright here in Newark as their quarterback just a junior, their top runner just a sophomore. As the extra point is up, and it is good. We have extracurricular activities on the field. No doubt this is going to be more personal foul penalties. We just don't know which direction. But there was a lot of activity after the play was over. We're going to have to sort this one out here, Greg, but I see more personal fouls coming, maybe offsetting or maybe it was one way.
For sure, and that, as tempers flare, as you get heated, as you get aggressive, and you're watching, maybe you're as Zanesville watching your game slip away from you.
Yep.
It definitely can get very physical.
If there's one game on the schedule that they don't want to lose, it's this game. That's going to be a personal foul against the Blue Devils and also against the Wildcats. Those are going to be offsetting penalties. Just a slew of personal fouls in this football game. The road gets no easier for the Blue Devils after tonight, so any thoughts of making a late season charge? After I mentioned earlier, this is the first of 3 consecutive road games for Zanesville. Next week they travel to Columbus Academy, who's also unbeaten. And in week 5, they travel to Johnstown Northridge, who's also unbeaten. So coming into this game tonight, Zanesville's first 5 opponents, speaking of their first 2 they've already played, and their next 3 are combined 10-0. So, and then the back half of their schedule, they have to run the gauntlet of the LCL. So the schedule is not kind to Zanesville this year.
For sure.
Because the last 4 weeks of the season, they have Granville, Licking Valley, Licking Heights, Watkins Memorial. Very tough way to end your season. So that's why I thought a win here tonight could have went a long way for Zanesville. That kickoff's going to go into the end zone. Zanesville's going to start this drive at the 25-yard line, and let's just see if they can muster anything offensively, get something going in the positive direction, something to build upon for next week. Because they played a home game a week ago, and they won't play another one until September 27th. So
almost an entire
month that they won't play a home game. This is a long stretch of road games they're entering. Just the way the schedule works out some years.
Or even consider turning it off. Keep your focus on the road, not your phone.
So 11 minutes and change left on the clock. Zanesville finds themselves behind 28-7.
And from a 7-7 halftime to a 28-7 right now is we're 11 minutes left in the 4th.
Carson Hostetler is going to be the ball carrier for Zanesville. Flag comes out. He didn't gain much on that one anyway, about a yard on the carry. Let's see what these penalty markers are for. If that's holding on Zanesville, that's going to set them back, which I believe it is. Going to set them back 5 yards. 10 yards, rather.
And this is where they were earlier on the other end of the field and pushed back behind the 5. And, it's very close quarters. A little too close for comfort a little bit when that Newark defense is so aggressive and fast as they are.
And the penalties that really allowed, the Newark penalties that allowed Zanesville to stay in that game in the first half came full circle. Now Zanesville's committing detrimental penalties that they're just unable to recover from. They're in 1st and 20 right here from their own 10-yard line. Very, very tough for a young team struggling to find an identity. They're going to hand it off. A lot of running room for Hostetler. That's the best run of the night by far for Zanesville, as Carson Hostetler takes that one for 14 yards. Going to get a second look. A lot of room in there, and he was just a couple tacklers away from breaking a long one there.
He was, for sure.
But 14 good yards for Zanesville puts them in a 2nd and 6 situation.
And that's not a bad position to be in
Not
either
at
on
all.
offense at all. So if they can use that to their advantage, for sure.
Even the 2 backs for Zanesville, Hostetler as well as Pouncey, they haven't found a lot of room, but they're running hard. Hostetler remains in the backfield. Maddox Muller throws out, intended for Antonio Whiteside on the screenplay. A little bit high, unable to bring that one in. So 3rd and 6 for Zanesville. You'd love to see them get this first down and keep the offensive unit on the field, as they really haven't had a lot of time on the field to gel here in the second half. Penalties have been drive killers for the Blue Devil offense here in the second half.
For sure. I mean, it's a 180 game from the first half. They have just flipped their scripts on each other at this point.
Maddox Muller with Carson Hostetler to his right. 3 wideouts to the right. He's looking right, and he's going to be swallowed up. The Newark pass rush is so quick in there. We got another penalty flag, a late one.
And I tell you what, Austin Rose on defense, he is an aggressive, he's there. He's there in all the play. I mean, he is very much part of the action in every play.
We had another penalty come out late here, Greg. I thought I saw the preliminary indication say a defensive I don't think it was a personal foul.
But it's enough to move the chains for sure, as we're
Family would like to thank Eric Mason for catering.
Defensive delay of game, I think, was the call there. I'm pretty sure it's rare to see that. That's where the defender just impedes the offense from getting back to the line of scrimmage in a timely manner. Zanesville will take it. Good break for the Zanesville Blue Devils. That moves the football out to the 34-yard line. Maddox Muller takes the snap, hands off to Hostetler. He finds some room. Ooh, he's an ankle tackle away from breaking another one.
Yes, very much so.
I think that was Alexander Irvin Royster on the tackle. Is number 17 for Newark's been all over this field tonight, running the football and making a lot of plays on defense. Been real impressed with Alexander Irvin Royster. Didn't know a lot about Newark coming in, but what I read was the 2 Edwards brothers is who they relied on to make most of their plays. But Alexander Irvin Royster has been a huge part of this game plan tonight. Zanesville, 2nd and 4. Muller takes the snap, hands to Hostetler. A little bit indecisive. Football's on the ground. Fumbled the football, did Hostetler. The Blue Devils able to pounce on that one. And that was Landon Frame on the recovery. And who is still down for Zanesville? There is a player down. I can't tell if that is Carson Hostetler. Seems to be in some pain. I can't see a number. Can you make out a number,
I
Greg?
cannot yet. Oh, they were at number 6.
6. Oh, that's Antonio Whiteside.
I can't tell if he got the wind knocked out of him underneath all that scrambling for the ball, or if it's something different.
High school tomorrow morning.
Whiteside's an outstanding looking athlete. Zanesville certainly needs him to remain healthy. Good to see him up under his own power, making his way to the sidelines.
Shaking it off.
He'll certainly have to come out for a play or two, but hopefully he can return to this one. The best thing for Zanesville there, they were able to pounce on that fumble and keep possession of the ball. They lost a few yards in the process. There's still going to be about a 3rd and 5, maybe a short 6 for the Blue Devils.
Which is better than a turnover.
Yeah, absolutely. Number 22 comes into the backfield for Zanesville. First time we've seen him. That's Michael Reese, another sophomore. Line up to the left of Maddox Muller. That ball is intercepted by Newark's Brody Driscoll, and he is going to run unmolested into the end zone, my friend, and it goes from bad to worse for Zanesville.
It did. We look at the Iowa Educational Credit Union replay right here.
You see right here, Driscoll just jumps right in front of that pass, and there is no obstruction between he and the end zone. As
just the referee.
He takes a Sunday morning stroll into the end zone, and just like that, the score balloons to Newark 34, Zanesville 7. We have another Blue Devil down on the turf. Here, Greg can't make out the number again as he's laid out on his back, but training staff working on another Blue Devil. So what looked like a promising first half has turned ugly here in the second, as Zanesville crumbling right before our eyes.
And I think you made a valid point earlier, too, that I think maybe Newark underestimated or underplayed during the first half and definitely didn't give them maybe the credit that they do have.
Yep. I agree with that because, you know, you talk about teenage kids and you can coach them all you want and talk to your blue in the face, but they're still going to look at Zanesville's record and their results, and they're still going to form an opinion. And it took them a half to get motivated for this game, but they finally arrived to the show. Better late than never if you're a Wildcat fan. That is number 50 for Zanesville, finally back up on his feet. Let's see who that is. J.J. Willett.
Little assistance there, working his knee around.
Yes, and Zanesville
is walking.
Injury starting to mount here for Zanesville. We want to get out of this one as healthy as possible, as winning this game is not a realistic concept right now. So
nope, stay healthy and
TJ Copeland might want to consider taking some of his key players out of this game. So now we have an extra point coming up for the Newark Wildcats. They're going to try to extend this lead yet again. 8.5 minutes to play.
Timeout, Blue Devils.
Zanesville's going to take a timeout on special teams. I don't think they had enough men on the field.
I don't think so. Two came running in and they called a timeout.
I think they were out there with either 9 or 10 players. And I know it's just an extra point, but every play matters. Every snap matters. Especially when you're trying to build a culture under a first-year head coach. Expectations always a little different. Plays, offensive schemes, defensive schemes, like you said, everything changes all at once when you change coaching staffs. And there's an adjustment period. It's going to be in play. So just want to see some improvement throughout the year for Zanesville because so much youth on this roster. So many of these key players are sophomores and juniors. So if you can just gain some confidence and some rhythm throughout this season. The extra point is up, and it is good for Newark. 35-7 is the lead for the Wildcats.
And, and during that rebuilding, as you rebuild that culture, rechange things, you do have your underclassmen and your younger kids coming up, and it just takes that time to just relearn everything and build on what you already have.
Another Blue Devil down on the turf. We'll see who this one is. I believe that is either Chad Kocher or Addison Mitchell. It's 25 or 26. I can't make out the number. They're light on their back. And the training staff once again huddled around a Blue Devil player. So that's the fourth Blue Devil to need assistance here in the second half. Not a good sign.
And in the second half being way more physical than the first half was, for sure.
Still working on the Blue Devil. While they're working on them, let's get our sponsors in here. Greg, tonight's bank Tonight's game sponsored by the Community Bank. Now is the perfect time to join the Go Local movement by banking locally with the Community Bank. Fink's Harley-Davidson, live to ride, ride to live. Fink's quality cars and RVs, quick as a wink. You can deal with Fink. Foxfire Schools, free public alternative education serving students K through 12. Kokonis Furniture and Mattress Mart, making it easier for you to furnish your home. Levy's, Zanesville's flooring store. City Tire Pro, Coshocton Tire Pros, and Buckeye Tire Pros, player of the game sponsor. And Fink's Used Cars and Fink's Harley-Davidson is the proud sponsor of Friday Night Blitz. And our sponsor for our replays is the Ohio Educational Credit Union, as we've mentioned. Those are our sponsors for the evening. A special thanks to them. Without them, we wouldn't be able to bring you these games each and every Friday night, which we certainly enjoy doing.
We would just be up here talking to ourselves.
Yeah.
Run, don't walk. Down to the
So Zanesville is going to get possession once again. Would love to see them establish some type of rhythm offensively, if nothing else, here in the late stages of this game. Newark's going to kick this one off. It's a short one. Going to be fielded by an up back around the 20. He's looking for room. He gets it out across the 30, nearly to the 35. To the Blue Devils, so they'll set up shop around the 33.
Starting to get some momentum right there as he took off and got that nice little tackle right there. Brought him down.
We'll see which players come out on the field for Zanesville here. I'll be curious to see if Maddox Moeller, Von Pouncey, and Hosteller come back in this game. Actually, looks like they are. Antonio Whiteside, who we just saw injured a moment ago. Good sign seeing him back out on the field.
For sure.
So they will stick with the running back Michael Reese to the left of Moeller. And Reese is going to get the carry, nothing doing. 1, maybe 2 yards for Reese on that carry. Going to be a 2nd and 8 for Zanesville.
A lot of Wildcats right there to meet him at the line of scrimmage.
Austin Rose.
Fourth quarter clock continues to wind. 8 minutes and counting in this one. Michael Reese in the backfield next to Maddox Moeller. 2 wides and a wingback. You're going to give it to Reese once again. Michael Reese fighting hard for yardage. And the sophomore's going to gain about 3.
Reese takes the ball on the right side.
That's going to set up about a 3rd and 4 or a short 5.
3rd down and 5.
Very thankful that we only had that one delay here, Greg, to begin the game. The weather has avoided us here in Newark. Thankfully this evening, a lot of other local games are in extended delays. I knew they were earlier, so very thankful to get this one in here tonight.
For sure. Some rain showers have popped through, but, knock on wood, nothing else crazier than that.
Michael Reese on the carry once again. A lot of room. He's weaving his way through the Newark defense. That's going to be a big gain of about 15 yards for Reese.
Beautiful play right there as he ran through traffic and weaving and wobbling his way through.
Best run of the night for the Zanesville Blue Devils. On the feet of sophomore Michael Reese. That's going to move the chains. Just what we talked about, a little rhythm, a little momentum. Get this offensive unit a little bit of confidence heading into next week.
And, like you said, he's a sophomore. He's still got a few more years. He's got a long season ahead of you to get better and to, just get everything clicking.
Same formation for the Blue Devils. 2 wide to the left. Muller's going to throw it left, finds Whiteside. Little bubble screen. And it went for about 4 yards. That's going to set up a 2nd and 6. Whiteside on the worst end of that hit once again as a pair of Newark defenders brought him down inside the 45-yard line at the 43.
And like you said earlier, as the quarterback plants his foot, gets everything, everybody's where they should be, and those plays work.
They're sticking with this formation. 2 wide to the left. Michael Reese in the backfield to Maddox's left hip. Maddox Muller is in shotgun, looking for instructions from Carper. He takes the snap. He's going to hand to Reese. More running room for Michael Reese. Give him 10 more, maybe 11. Nevertheless, it's a first down for Zanesville.
A nice little pretty spin move there at the end, too, just to keep a few more yards on him. And
yep.
Ladies and gentlemen,
I really like the way this Reese, he's got good vision when he gets the handoff on that jet motion. You mentioned he's a 6 foot, 220-pound sophomore. That's a big load for a running back. Really shows some burst and explosiveness for somebody 220 pounds.
For sure. And then it makes it that much tougher to bring him down.
Same formation yet again. If it's not broke, don't fix it. Give it back to Reese. And he's jitter stepping inside there, side to side, finds 4 more yards.
Run the rope drill right there, it looked like. A little high stepping.
It's like the Blue Devils have found something here.
second down 6.
With this young sophomore. 2nd and 6 for Zanesville. Clock is under 5 minutes here. And we mentioned a while back, the result of this game has long been determined. I think Zanesville is just trying to establish something offensively, something they desperately need to build upon. Maddox Muller continues to be in the game. Shotgun formation. He'll take the snap, hand it to Reese. Michael Reese out around the right edge. He's still pushing the Newark Wildcat defense.
The entire defense.
That scrum is still moving forward. I'll tell you, he got an extra 4 yards.
He did, with the entire defense on him. As we go to the Ohio Educational Credit replay, he took the whole scrum with him on that one.
It looked like he was going to be brought down right here at the marker.
Yep, and not so much.
He just kept churning and churning and churning. Love the effort. Down 28 from this young kid.
And like you said, if they're looking for something to build upon the rest of the season, if this is groundwork laid for that, then that's exactly what they need to do.
Absolutely. Got to take advantage of these game moments.
Because it's always different in a game than practice, for sure.
Absolutely. Reese back to the well. They're running the tread off this kid's tires here, Greg.
He will definitely need new cleats after this game.
They found something they liked, and they're sticking with it. Give Reese 5 yards on the first down carry. 6 yards make it. 2nd and 4 for the Blue Devils.
Give him a little bit of break there off the sideline.
Going to bring Carson Hostetler back in the game. See if he can find some room. Maddox Muller looking over for instructions from his coaching staff. He'll take the snap, give it to Hostetler. Some room over there.
Oh, nice little juke move right there.
And Carson Hostetler is going to take it into the end zone for a Zanesville Blue Devil touchdown.
So we go to the Ohio Educational Credit Union replay right here. Nice little right there. Just that little move right there gave him all the field he needed.
He sure did. And Hostetler finds his way into the end zone for the 2nd Blue Devil score of the evening.
That was a beautiful drive-by. I mean, they worked that field, and they definitely did everything they needed to do, and what they should be doing to get that yardage, to get those scores.
I agree. That was a thing of beauty right there, and everything was on the ground with the exception of a 4-yard screenplay to Antonio Whiteside. The rest of that damage done on the ground. And Blue Devils lining up to go for 2 here. They're going to hand it to Reese. He's fighting. He may have got in. He did. He was initially contacted around the 3-yard line. Michael Reese continues to plow forward, makes the score Newark 35, Zanesville 15.
And I mean, that's they had the first 2 weeks was 0 scores.
Yep.
3rd week they've got 2 scores in, so they've already definitely done better this game. Played better.
I agree. In both scores, neither of the scores were flukes. They were out of their offensive formation. One was a pass, one was a run. So it's definitely some things to build upon. Some positive things in the film room, because when you lose 38-0 and 34-0, you're probably really struggling as a head coach to find positive things on film to promote your team with. But they're going to have some stuff to work with here tonight.
Oh, for sure. And that's all progress. Like you said, they're on about a month-long road trip here coming up, and then they've got conference after that. So, they've got their work cut out for them for sure.
Yeah, just a meat grinder of a schedule for the Blue Devils this year. Both these teams, Zanesville and Newark, both play in the LCL, the Licking County League. They're in different divisions, however. So Zanesville plays in the other division, and Zanesville the only team in the LCL which isn't in Licking County. So take that for what it's worth, I guess.
It's close enough.
The Licking County League featuring the Zanesville Blue Devils, I guess.
That's a good intro. I like that one.
The Blue Devils just so many years they just couldn't find a home. They couldn't find a league that suited them geographically, competitively. But I think this league does both, and I'm certainly glad Licking County has welcomed them into this league because they used to play in a league called the SEOAL, which is way down in the southern part of the state, and they had to travel to Chillicothe and Ironton and all these schools that take 2.5 hours to get to.
Yep, and that's down in my neck of the woods where I'm from, for sure. And now I remember them playing Warren down there as well, and so they did have a lot of road travel.
Yes, they sure did. Zanesville attempted the onside kick there, nearly recovered it. I think Newark fell on that football.
It was close.
Yes. Pulling out all the stops for Zanesville. Prior to that, Zanesville was in the ECOL, which was, I thought, the best league for them, but that league kind of broke down over the years as schools started going to other conferences. But when they were in that conference with Dover and New Philadelphia and Claymont and Marietta, I thought that really fit them perfectly, both competitively and geographically. But leagues just start to break down after a while.
They do.
A couple teams go here, a couple teams go to change leagues, and all of a sudden you're left without a league.
Which we see that in the NCAA all the time as well. But the Big Ten is like not the Big Ten anymore. So, exactly.
Shotgun formation once again for the Newark Wildcats. Brody Smith will get it. Hands it off to running back. That's 21. First time we've seen him. And that's Tavante Bonner. And he is a 5'5", 205-pound junior. Low to the ground, little bowling ball.
Looked like he might have a little slippery start there when he got the ball, but yeah, he didn't get too far on that one. So
5'5", 205. That's some kind of frame.
Catch him full speed, and that's dangerous.
So 2.5 to play in this one. 2nd and 9 for the Wildcats. 3 wide, 2 backs in the backfield behind Brody Smith. He'll take the handoff, he'll take the snap and hand it off to Bonner once again. And he'll grind his way up past midfield for a 4-yard gain.
Kept that forward momentum going.
Brings up 3rd down and 3 for the Wildcats. And I'm really loving the way the Blue Devils are finishing this game. That drive was huge, and defensively they're not giving up. They're still out there competing.
In the 3rd quarter, it almost looked like they were maybe giving up, or they've lost momentum or attitude with that. But they've definitely brought it back in the 4th quarter for sure. And that drive was really good.
Shotgun snap. Bonner on the carry once again for Newark. Finds some room around the right edge, and he'll be tackled around the 40-yard line. 1st down for Newark, and that's probably going to do it as we are 1:20 to play in this one. A couple more snaps, and this game will be in the books. Again, this Newark team is a completely different. This Newark program has made so many leaps and strides over the past 10 years. This used to be a team that Zanesville dominated year in and year out. And in Newark football, this program has really taken some big steps forward over the past few years. Hand off to Bonner once again. He's
bouncing
running hard
right there.
Fresh legs. You can see those fresh legs out there, can't you, Greg?
Yep. I think he bounced off 4 defenders right there as he got close to the 1st down marker.
10-yard burst on 1st down will move the chains, which is moot at this point because we are under 40 seconds to play. One more snap. And this game will be in the books.
Second down, 1.
But the scoreboard may show one thing, but the game on the field definitely a different.
I agree. Yeah, I definitely agree with that. Wildcats taking their time. Play clock down to 5, and he'll snap it. Hand it back to Bonner, and he'll get swallowed in the backfield that time. And I think that'll be our final play of the game, folks, as the Newark Wildcats come out victorious at home here tonight, 35-15 over the Zanesville Blue Devils. And we will step aside momentarily, but when we come back, we will wrap this game up for you and give you our final thoughts on this one. And we're back, Newark Whites Field, where the Zanesville Blue Devils came out on the losing end of this one tonight, 35-15 against the Wildcats in Newark. We're going to roll through some highlights here on this one. As you can see right there, that was Hostetler for Zanesville on the carry. I believe that was Licking Valley highlights we were just looking at. Wrong game. So.
But the scoreboard showed 35-15 Newark over Zanesville. Yes. But I think on the field that the game was a lot closer than that. I think it was a really good game by both teams, especially Zanesville coming off 2 home losses, coming in here first half 7-7.
Yep.
And a lot of penalties.
Yeah, I think if you exclude the third quarter, this game's a stalemate. Newark just dominated the third quarter.
They did.
The first, second, and fourth quarters was pretty much a stalemate. And here we're going to finally get to see some highlights here. Here's going to be Carson Hostetler. This is, I think, the touchdown late in the game, and it is.
Yep.
It cut the lead down to 35-13. But Zanesville really fell behind in the third quarter and was never able to recover, as Newark put up 21 unanswered in that quarter. That's the touchdown in the first period. Maddox Miller to Antonio Whiteside to open up our scoring. But from that point to the end, it was pretty quiet night offensively for Zanesville. You're going to see a kick that was blocked by Newark. Attempted field goal for Zanesville. Zanesville attempted 2 field goals tonight. Unsuccessful on both. You're going to see a nice screen pass across the middle by Newark, and you see that speed on display there, Greg, as their team speed was on display here tonight. Both Edwards brothers as well as Winbush and Rutliff. There you see that was Daniel Cutliff on the receiving end of that Newark touchdown. Here you're going to see Maddox Moeller. I think this is the one that gets intercepted. A little bit underthrown there. Newark defender able to step in front of that one. We're going to see Carson Hostetler. We've already seen this, but we'll watch it again. As Carson Hostetler.
A little cut step right there. Got to help them get in there for sure.
Able to take that one in for 7. As we mentioned, this game was really a tale of 2 halves, but more specifically the third quarter, a quarter in which Newark dominated. Zanesville was never fully able to recover. On the plus side, Zanesville found some offensive rhythm there late in the game. They really started to look good.
They really did, and if they take any of that through their away game stretch, plus back to LCL conference play, they build on that, but definitely can change, their outcome of the season.
They certainly can. We mentioned the road does not get easier for the Blue Devils. Next week, they're back on the road at Columbus Academy. Academy was 2-0 heading into tonight. We don't know the results yet from tonight, but certainly another stiff road test for the Blue Devils upcoming, but they fell short in this one. And last but not least, our game next week here on South 60 Films will be a battle of the small school leaders, when New Lexington travels to Whirlwind Stadium to face the West End Panthers. Looking forward to that one as well, Greg.
That's right. And now we've got Newark leaving this game. Newark Wildcats 3-0 in the season so far. And see where their season takes them to here in the LCL.
So Newark moves to 3-0. The Blue Devils drop to 0-3. And that will do it for us here tonight. Thank you so much for joining us for this one. I'm Ted Snyder. He's Greg Rhodes. We will see you next week.